You might think you know Spawn, but here are 12 facts you may not know about Todd McFarlane's Hell Person in a Cape. Spawn first appeared in appropriately Spawn number 1, written and drawn by Todd McFarlane and published by Image Comics in 1992. Spawn was the second series to launch from Image Comics, following Rob Liefeld's Youngblood. McFarlane first created Spawn when he was 16 years old with the help of his father. The original version was more of a sci-fi oriented comic, and so his costume was colored with the cool blues of space. When McFarlane decided to make him come from hell, the cool blues were changed to warm reds. McFarlane named many of the major characters in Spawn after important people in his life. Spawn's alter ego, Al Simmons, was named after McFarlane's former roommate. Simmons' wife's daughter, Cyan, was named after McFarlane's own daughter, and his wife Wanda named after McFarlane's wife. Simmons' friend, Terry Fitzgerald, was named after a longtime friend and employee of McFarlane. After writing and drawing the first 7 issues of Spawn himself, McFarlane had a number of famous guest writers come in on some early issues, including Alan Moore, Neil Gaiman, Frank Miller, and Grant Morrison. Dave Sim wrote a crossover with his character, Cerebus the Aardvark, in which the two characters visit a prison that all corporate comic book characters are trapped in. The publication order of some early issues of Spawn is all out of whack. Issues 19 and 20 were originally skipped, but later 19 came out between 24 and 25, and 20 came out between 25 and 26. No one knows exactly why, but the theory is that it was a way to work around the comic distributors' policies on late issues. McFarlane's tendency to name characters after real people came back to bite him when he was sued in 2004 by hockey player Tony Twist for profiting from his name and likeness with mobster character Antonio "Tony" Twist Twistelli. Twist won in a $15 million verdict. Speaking of McFarlane lawsuits, Neil Gaiman filed suit against McFarlane in 2002 over ownership of characters he had introduced in Spawn number 9, including Angela, Cogliostro, and Medieval Spawn. Gaiman was awarded ownership of Angela, whom he then sold to Marvel Comics, who made her Thor's sister and a member of the Guardians of the Galaxy. I guess we might as well do the lawsuit trifecta. In 1995, McFarlane purchased the copyrights of bankrupt publisher Eclipse Comics, believing this gave him the rights to the classic character Miracle Man. He subsequently introduced a character named Man of Miracles to Spawn. Long story short, the court disagreed that McFarlane owned Miracle Man, and Man of Miracles was retconned out. One Eclipse character that was successfully integrated into Spawn was the Heap, a swamp monster introduced by Hillman periodicals in 1942, and revived by Eclipse in 1986. The new version introduced in Spawn was a homeless person who is murdered next to a bag of ghost slime, and then turns into a giant trash monster. Spawn's massive popularity led to a number of spin-offs, including an Angela miniseries written by Neil Gaiman, Blood Feud and Violator written by Alan Moore, Medieval Spawn / Witchblade written by Garth Ennis, a Batman crossover written by Frank Miller, and Hellspawn and Sam and Twitch, which features some of the earliest work for hire by Brian Michael Bendis. With over 250 consecutive issues, Spawn is the longest running title at Image, with the only other still running launch title from 1992 being Eric Larsen's Savage Dragon, which also has over 200 issues. 1997's Spawn feature film could have gone very differently. The original choice for director was Tim Burton, and Crow director Alex Proyas was signed on to direct before leaving to make Dark City instead. Actors other than Michael Jai White considered for the role of Al Simmons included Wesley Snipes, Cuba Gooding Jr., and also apparently Snoop Dogg. That sounds made up, but it is actually true. That's it for this episode of You Think You Know Comics. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Comics Alliance for more comic facts, and check out comicsalliance.com for more comic awesomeness.